Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back with another video, and today I have a really awesome haul for you guys. I went to a multitude of conventions this past summer, and I was able to purchase quite a few things. Typically, I don't do this. When I go to conventions, there's very few things that I usually need or want, especially with the prices that people are trying to charge for Star Wars stuff nowadays. But I figured, especially at Virginia most recently, why not treat myself? Why not do something special? And I feel like I did. So I have a lot of really awesome things to show off to you guys this week. So start things off. This is something I didn't have to pay for, but it is still very cool. I got this for free from my guy 327 Bricks. 237 Bricks. I'm not sure which one he prefers to be called nowadays, but just random instruction books from the early days of Lego Star Wars. These are just, I don't know, kind of cool, blast from the past. Got the one from the OG X-Wing, OG Slave 1, OG Pod Racer, and the speeder bike set from back in the day. And I don't know, I've kind of been just on a big nostalgia trip when it comes to Lego Star Wars recently, trying to collect pretty much anything that can remind me of those older days. Just, you know, not even necessarily sets, but sometimes it'd be boxes, and then sometimes it'd be instruction books. So for something that I was given for free, and a lot of these are actually in pretty good condition, I really do appreciate it, man. So shout out to Aaron for that. Gonna move those over to the side. Next up, we have another thing that I purchased off of my guy Aaron. This is the original AAT set. I still believe this is the best AAT that Lego has put out there. So I picked this up for a really good price, just 30 bucks, 100% complete. And yeah, I really like this set. I already have one of these, but I don't have it built. I believe I had to actually poach quite a few parts off the one I already own in order to make the customs that I did. But I did want to have one of these built just out of pure respect. Just out of respect that this is the best AAT that Lego has put out. I felt this one is certainly worth even, you know, all these years later to have displayed. So gonna definitely enjoy putting this guy together. Next up, of course, what would a convention be without the obligatory grouping of parts that I'd pick up from my guy Aaron. This is like an exclusively Aaron haul right here so far, but he always has awesome parts on deck. If you see him at a convention, definitely holler at him. He probably has some cool parts he can sell you, but got some just kind of not necessarily like super interesting things, but just kind of stuff that helps me fill out my collection. Got some of these 1x1 by 2/3 bricks, which are super useful and kind of a more recent piece. Got some 1x3 tiles, not a recent piece, but something that I just find myself not really having a ton of, especially in those gray colors that I'm always building with. And a few other things that'll just, I don't know, just give me some options. And next up, we have a haul from Tactical Bricks. This one was super exciting. I was able to get basically a few things from Chicago earlier this year, and then I got a few more things from Virginia. So at Chicago, I went ahead and I picked up all these character tiles from the Lego Star Wars Complete Saga. This is not all of them that exists. I think I got maybe around 40 or so. There's still plenty more that I have to get, but I don't think he had all of them in stock whenever I went over to his little booth. So I'm definitely gonna have to order the rest online. But first I need inventory and see all the ones that I do have. I was kind of disappointed in myself because he had, I believe, a lot more when I went to Virginia. However, I didn't bring these to Virginia, so I didn't know exactly which ones I already had, and I didn't want to buy a bunch of duplicates because there's so many of these. For those of you who know me, who know how much the Lego Star Wars video games mean to me, I mean, it's very apparent just even from my YouTube profile picture. This is a no-brainer for me. I honestly would love to get some of these made with like my profile picture on it, but I think I may be overdue for rebranding before I do that. My current profile picture was made like literally when I started, and well, when I started, you know, really getting serious about Lego Star Wars YouTube, and just visually, like physically about me, so much has changed since then. Like my hair is considerably longer than it was back then, so I think I'm definitely overdue for probably a profile picture change, and maybe just complete rebranding in terms of like a lot of the images I use for my channel. But that's something I want to think about. Another really cool thing for the Lego Star Wars video game that I picked up is this True Jedi 100% 1x8 black brick. This is super cool, honestly. I feel like, I mean, if we had these for our Lego Star Wars collab, this definitely would have been something that I would have like given out to some of the people who contributed, and maybe we could have even included these in our mocks. But now I do have them. I don't know when I'll use them, but I'm sure they'll come in use at some point. And then finally, I got these two album tiles right here. So two albums that I am a big fan of. Got 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying, absolute classic album. And then Young Thug's So Much Fun, another classic. So many dope tracks on that. And these are printed on 6x6 tiles. So once again, I have no idea what I'll do with these. I'll probably just put them on a wall somewhere. But nonetheless, they are super, super cool to have. Next up, we have one of the more interesting things that I picked up from the convention. This is a bag of thin keychains from The Force Awakens. This was given to me by David, aka Solid Brick Studios, probably for no other reason than he knows that I like the sequels. So I think someone gave him an even bigger bag of these, and he was like, yo, you should just give them out to people. And he split the bag with me, and I guess I'm at some point gonna give these out to people. So maybe next convention I go to where I actually display mocks, I can give some of these out. Spread the love of the sequels. You guys know I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, kind of a weird thing to get, but I mean, free keychains, who am I to complain, right? Next up, we have what everyone likes to see, a minifigure haul. Minifigures, as with any convention, are probably the most expensive part of anything that I purchase. So I got some really cool stuff in here. You guys are definitely gonna be excited about this. But start things off, I went over to Eclipse Graphics, and of course we did the Lego Star Wars 2 collaboration earlier this year. If you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out. There are some incredible mocks in that video. But as part of the mood for that and kind of celebrating that, I went and picked up this Stud Wars, basically the indoor Han Solo custom character from the Lego Star Wars video games, and it looks super awesome. Was super happy to get this. I do still want to collect really all the, I mean, I've at this point I've made a video series starting off with trying to collect all the characters from the original Lego Star Wars game, but at some point that will hopefully extend it to, you know, all the Lego Star Wars games. I gotta catch up with my guy Playmation Shorts. So this isn't anything that'll go in like a video anytime soon. At this point I still need to get the ball rolling with my, you know, collecting all the figures from the first Lego Star Wars video game. But then hopefully we can start rolling into some more series with the second game and Complete Saga as well. But either way, very happy to add this to the collection. And I guess in regards to that video game series, like, you know, now that I'm getting more and more close to collecting all the Lego Star Wars minifigs, like, it will make a lot more sense to start maybe diverting more resources and time to the video game minifigure collecting series that I'd like to do here on this channel. So I was happy to pick that up. I went and picked this up for super cheap. This is the Anakin, I think it's like the second Anakin, like young Anakin figure that they made. I believe it came in the 07 Naboo Starfighter. And I actually have already owned this figure because I got this set when I was younger. But I'm pretty confident I had to like poach parts from this figure, and you know, it's in many different places in my collection right now. And it was so cheap at the convention, it was worth it for me to just buy this and not scour my entire collection and try to piece this guy back together. So I was happy to pick that up, and it'll have a spot on the minifig wall. I was able to get a group, a pretty nice group of dark orange battle droids, the Geonosis variants. So these pretty much exclusively inspired by David Hall's Geonosis mock at the convention. I saw, you know, these were being sold for a pretty good price. I got 3 of them from a seller named LM. I think it's like LM. Is it Production? It can't be Productions. Why be? I don't know. I'll put this name of the seller in the description. I want to say it's LM something. LM Minifigs. That sounds right. Something along those lines. And then also got 2 more of these from my guy JMW Productions. So he's been a long time fan, long time Discord supporter. So shout out to JMW for selling me these at a wonderful price. And now I got 5 more of these added to my collection, which is probably tripled the amount that I had before this video. So pretty cool to get these guys. These are some nice droids. All the joints and stuff are pretty stiff. So that's always a positive. And you know, I don't really plan on doing Geonosis anytime soon, but you know, if Lego does decide to continue with the dark orange ones, I'll be a pretty good step in the right direction in terms of that. So Putting those guys aside, I did also pick up 2 of my favorite Lego Star Wars minifigures, and that's not hyperbole. Like, this is legitimately my favorite Lego Star Wars minifigure. This is the Special Forces First Order TIE Pilot. These things are just beautiful. Love them so much. I love the rubber molded hose piece that connects to the helmet. Love the red stripes. I love everything about this figure. So super happy to get 2 more of these. I want to say I already have 2, so this probably doubles my collection of them, and probably am going to be wanting to get even more of these because they're just so cool. And it's a pilot figure, so it makes sense to have a good amount in any collection. Now we start getting to the more expensive parts of this minifig haul. I was able to pick these up for an insane price from a seller who I do not know the name of, but he was very generous for letting me have these at this price. So we're first going to start off with these 2 sand red B1 battle droids. They aren't in the best condition. There's actually only 1 good arm between both of them. But for the price he was selling these at, it was totally worth it for me. And I think this is still the ideal Geonosis B1 battle droid. I think if Lego wanted to continue making Geonosis battle droids, I think it'd be a great time for them to bring back Sand Red. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You never know. But it was super cool to get more of these. I think this is number 5 and 6 that I'm adding to my collection. So, you know, if I did want to do like a mini kind of throwback Geonosis build, I could, because I have, you know, even more of these guys. But I definitely am going to have to replace these arms because these are not in good condition at all. From the same seller, I was able to pick up one of the newer indoor Rebel Troopers. It does not have the correct face, which is not super big deal to me. The biggest deal to me is the olive green helmet, as well as the just updated indoor Rebel torso and leg design. And this thing was, I don't know, it's just, you know, it came with the Imperial Tigerium set, and, you know, to this day, like, these are super expensive, not super easily attainable figures to get. I guess they're not super expensive, but for what it is, I'd say it's a pretty expensive figure. I want to say it's at least $20. So that's not ideal, but I love the design. I think it holds up all these years later, and I think this is definitely like the peak indoor Rebel design, and happy to add another one to the collection. And then finally, this was definitely the most expensive part of stuff that I got from this particular seller. I picked up a Phase 1 Rex helmet. So why do I need a Phase 1 Rex helmet? Well, I do have a Phase 1 Rex. I got it when I was a little kid at the original Clone Wars ACTE set. But there was another Phase 1 Rex that came in another set, and it had a visor like this rather than the antenna. And that means that Bricklink considers them 2 different figures, and that means that I need basically 2 of them to put on my minifig wall. So up until this point, I've only had 1 of them, but now I have a second helmet, which is by far the most expensive part of that figure. The only other exclusive part of the figure is the face, which I have ordered, and the torso has no print. You can just take a standard animated P1 clone torso, pop some blue arms on it, and you got yourself a P1 Rex, the way they did it back in the day. So this was a much cheaper way for me to go about this and trying to buy the full figure. So, you know, I got basically all these 4 items for a total of $45, which is a crazy deal because the helmet by itself would probably cost me just as much. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for me, and it's gonna help me, you know, get that much closer to completing the minifig wall. And last but certainly not least, in terms of the minifigure section of this video, I got this one. This is also an Aaron purchase, but I was finally able to acquire an angry face Jango Fett figure. If you know anything about this guy, this is not a cheap figure. This thing can easily sell from $180 to $220 easily. Aaron didn't charge me that much, thankfully. Shout out to Aaron for that. But this is one of those just figures that eluded me, and it made me so annoyed because, you know, pretty much since The Force Awakens, I've been super diligent about buying pretty much all the Lego Star Wars sets that have minifigures in them for one reason or another. But this was one of the ones that came in a set that was exclusive to Toys R Us. It was not available at Lego stores, so it was a little bit more difficult to obtain, and it just was one of those sets that I did not end up getting. So, you know, I'm definitely paying the price for it many years later, having to buy this figure for over $100, which sucks, but it is a relief for me that I can finally just take this one off the list, and you guys will be seeing this in an upcoming minifig wall update episode. Now, the last thing that I have in this bag is very unconventional. It's not going to be obvious what it is when I pull it out, so I'm just going to get this out of the bag, and then I'll explain what the heck it is. So, without further ado, so if you're curious about what the heck it is that I have just dumped on my table here, these are nets. These are the Lego string net piece, has like an 8x8 surface area, and super useful piece, not a cheap piece, but there was a seller at the convention who was selling these for dirt cheap. So myself, and with the help of a few friends who were, super nice, I was able to obtain like a pretty insane amount of these. Like, I want to say I have at least 300 here, which is ridiculous. But the reason I got all these nets is because for Camino, which is still happening, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me questions about it, which is great. I'm glad people do still care enough to see the completion of that build, given it's been so long since I started it. But for the water, I want to use the net technique. If you're not aware of what it is, I can throw up a picture right now. But the technique just allows you to get some really dynamic, nice looking waves in Lego water, and there's just really no other way to get a technique like that other than using the nets. The issue for me is I need a lot of nets. The mock is going to be 4 gray base plates by 6 gray base plates, so I'm going to need a lot of these. I think I have around like 350 here at least. I'm going to need like around 800 for the mock, which is, I still have a ways to go, but for the price that I was able to get these, it was totally worth it, and it's a big step towards getting enough for the mock eventually. So super excited to have all these, and not so excited to actually connect all the water pieces to it. That is not going to be fun, but I think that the effect that we're going to have whenever this is all finished up is just going to be absolutely incredible. So I really cannot wait to see all this come together. So that does finish up the haul for everything that could fit inside this bag, but there are a couple things I purchased that could not fit inside this bag. So I'm just gonna grab one of them right here, right off the bat. We have this bad boy right here. Unfortunately, this is just an empty box. This is not the actual set, not the actual Wookiee Attack set seal, as much as I would love for it to be. But the seller was selling this box for like $5, and I was like, that's a no-brainer. Like, this is one of the boxes from my childhood. I have distinct memories of opening this box and putting the set together when I was really becoming a fan of Lego and Star Wars, and really expanding my imagination and just immersing myself in this world. So this era of boxes, the Vader, the flames, the orange and red lettering, the Mustafar kind of themed box art, the Kashyyyk battle that's happening here, all of this is so nostalgic to me. And I would like at some point to have all these boxes. I think I made it a point to collect the original episode 2 boxes, and I did finally get all of those. So now I'm kind of on the prowl for more of these episode 3 boxes from the original 05 wave. So this super sentimental to me, super meaningful to me, and I can't wait to get more of these. Just looking at this brings me back. It brings back so many good memories of those formative years where I was just becoming a fan and just loving, living, breathing Lego Star Wars. So super hyped to have this. I'm gonna find a special place for it. This is so awesome. Definitely one of my favorite pickups from the convention. And now we have the last item in this video, and this may very well be my favorite pickup from the convention. I was able to get this sign here. This are 3 of my favorite Star Wars characters. Got Poe, Rey, and Finn from one of my favorite movies. If you know me, you know I love me some The Last Jedi. So I was able to get this sign of all these characters and their Lego versions. And yeah, this is super random. Literally, Republic Stud just came up to me. He was like, "Hey Jay, you want to buy this?" And I was like, "Absolutely, no brainer." Didn't even think about it. And I'm super happy to have this. I'm gonna have to find a very special place to hang this up on a wall as well, because this is just so freaking cool. And I think this really just encaps, like, this is just so me. Like, this is such a me gift and something that I would love that. I don't know. Out of all the things I got, I think this one personifies me and my relationship with Lego Star Wars probably better than anything. Having it be this big sign of these three characters from this particular movie. Like, if anyone who knows me knows this is like a perfect gift for me. So this is just, I have no words. This is just so freaking awesome. So shout out to Studs for thinking about me when it comes to this gift, and I will hang this up proudly. Thank you so much, man. So that being said, guys, those are all the things that I acquired at this convention. This is by far the most that I've ever bought at any convention or groups of conventions. And and I got a lot of exciting stuff here. So I guess the question that I'll leave you guys with is, if you've been to a LEGO convention, if you were at Brick World or Brick Fair this year, definitely let me know in the comment section, what are some of the favorite things that you were able to pick up? I'd love to see some of the more exciting things you guys got at the convention. But that is going to finish the video. So if you guys like what I do, go ahead and support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button. And I'll be back again very soon.